I want to start this video by saying whatever it is you tell yourself you want to do, and you have this mind of, you're in that exact tiny moment where you're just considering procrastinating it. That day is the exact time when you get that shit done. Anyways, today is just going to be straight to the point. What we have here is AUDUSD, which is obviously Forex pair for I would be looking at DXY, so can have a larger view of what price is likely to do going into this new week. As you can see, we're on the weekly time frame, so we want to be able to, decide on this weekly time frame where exactly price is likely to get to. Okay, so you go to your weekly time frame, you ask yourself, this present weekly candle that, you know, obviously Sunday's open, which has to be this midnight, right? At the making of this video. So you ask yourself, where is this weekly candle likely to draw to? Is most of the distribution going to be higher, or is most of the distribution going to be lower? Once you have that, picking a particular side, then you stick with that going into the week. Once you find a trade in that direction, as a newbie, you should be done for the week. At most two trades, you're done for the week in that direction. You shouldn't be doing anything more than that direction. Okay. So we can obviously see how this weekly candle closed. So going into next week, I would submit to higher prices. Okay. Now I'm not saying it's going to get here immediately because it might take a number of weeks. But one thing we need to know still is next week, this coming week rather, is going to be the NFP week. So I'm going to put this into consideration. March 3rd to March 7th, apply settings, and then we have NFP on Friday. Okay, so on NFP weeks, you want to be trading in the earlier part of the week, as long as you can find very good setups in the earlier part of the week, you want to, hold those profits and maybe be done for the week, okay? Because it's high impact news. So we have high impact on Monday, on USD, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So based on study and experience, you'd find out that Thursday, the day before NFP, is usually a consolidation day, okay? So consolidation in the sense that price is not going to move as much, or we're not going to have the finest delivery in terms of, time and price. And it will just be consolidating, which is like pressing a spring, basically, like gathering this price action, this buy side and sell side couple of trading decisions in a range, waiting for the biggest news or the biggest play of the week, which happens to be non-farm payroll in this week. So going back to the chart, DXY, I'm going to just stick to higher prices, submit to that, and basically, let's find that out. So for the premium array, we have this green candle. I'm going to use the bodies of the candles to just eyeball the mean threshold of it. Okay, the mean threshold is 50% of an order block, basically. So 50% of it, you see dashed lines in the middle. I'm going to open that, go to the daily time frame. I'm just looking for higher price, right? So as long as we're staying above this mean threshold of this candle, I'm going to trust that we're going to get here. Okay. Well, that is not the takeaway I want you to pick. Okay. The main point I want you to pick from this is we are submitting to higher prices. Oluwafemi, I am submitting to higher prices. And I'm going to just be doing that throughout the week. And as long as I can find or frame or grade a setup that is in that direction, I'm going to just do that and be done, basically. Okay, so the weekly time frame here, we have the weekly order block, and the half of it is 50%, which is mean threshold of this order block. So let's just mark that. Let's just write it down. MT mean threshold. Let's change the font size to 20, and let's go to the daily time frame. Okay, so Now, this is what will happen in the daily time frame. And you can remember in our last video, we mentioned this volume imbalance. Please tell me why the mean threshold of this order block happens to be on the same line with the volume imbalance. That, I repeat, is not random. Okay, so that's premium pricing. And if for any reason I find buy orders from this level here, I'm going to submit to the fact that we could see higher prices. So we have buy side here above this high, volume imbalance before the buy side, and then buy side here too, as well as relatively equal highs. Okay, so what have we done since entering into that daily order block, which has this BC? What did we do? We created a short-term high after entering it, and we pushed above that short-term high, which was like a market structure shift here, but we've broken above the previous high here. So this is like the breaker, right? So we've broken above this last green candle that sends price down to take out sell side liquidity as well as this sell side, and also filling this imbalance. So once we've known this, you can clearly see on the daily time frame that it is showing signs for higher prices. Okay, so once you've had this in check, you're just going to go and pick 50% of that weekly order block, which happens to be the mean threshold, right? We're just going to delete that, right? And then submit to the weekly or the daily volume imbalance here. So this will be my first target. After we've done that on the daily volume imbalance, my next target will be above the short-term highs here, which happens to be the high of February 12th. Okay, so there's going to be buy side liquidity sitting above that high. All right, so now that we've had this framework where we had a run on liquidity, a market structure break above the short-term high, right? I'm anticipating a return, okay? And price doesn't necessarily have to get to this BC, all right, or this breaker. It doesn't have a price might not be willing to we deliver into that area. Okay, so seeing this, I'm just going to stick to higher prices. Even though it goes down, trades into this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, I'm going to trust higher prices from this area. Okay, so I'm basically going to trust higher prices from this area. Look at this left side of this curve, basically, which is the 13th of February's candle, right? We had a CB, okay? We had a CB there. We had this distribution into this CB, and we had a distribution downward. A retracement in the CB rather, and we had a distribution downward. Now we've broken above that area, so old areas that acted as old areas of resistance is going to become new areas of support. So this is basically it. So we use this area to sell before. Now it's going to be an area to buy. All right. So I like the fact that this is here. It's acting as an inversion fair value gap as long as we support that level. So the volume imbalance is basically my next drawn liquidity. Once we can see that volume imbalance, which happens to be the mean threshold of the weekly order block on the weekly time frame, once we stay above there, as long as we can stay above here, I'm going to trust that we'll get here. So it can be as simple as this, okay? And let's just go further and compare with the treasury bonds. Now, seeing this, let's go to the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame, we're in this weekly CB, okay? We're trading above this short-term high here, this long-term high rather. We're in this weekly CB and we're trading above the high of the last 3 weeks, which is the first week of February. Now, trading above this, going into the daily time frame, obviously, we want to see the opposite. If DXY is indeed bullish, interest rates, sorry, the T-bond should be going lower. Okay, how low can it get to? We marked this in our last video. You can go check it out yourself. We marked this BC in our last video. So if there's going to be any form of retracement or let's say reversal after an expansion, right? The next area of discount will be this. All right, so let's refine this weekly fair value gap, which we have marked with this, let's call it red, red box, red rectangle rather, let's refine it to what we have on the daily chart. Basically an inception. Let's refine it. So we have all these daily fair value gaps. Let's refine it. So this, right? See the first daily fair value gap. See the second one. I'm just going to delete this one and stick to this because obviously look at how price is functioning at this level. So does this daily fair value gap reverse price or give a form of reversal into this, discount level? This would ensure that my DXY analysis is going to be spot on because if this is going to be going lower, DXY is going to be going higher. All right. So I don't want to make this video too long, but whatever your analysis is on DXY, you can do the opposite on foreign assets. Let's take, for instance, AUD USD. AUD USD. Since we know that the highest probability in terms of distribution for DXY is going to be higher prices, AUDUSD, right, should be lower prices. You got it right. Now, on your weekly time frame, you ask yourself the same question. Where is this weekly candle likely to distribute? Is it higher or is it lower? Let's check the monthly time frame. Obviously, see on the monthly time frame, look at where we're trading in from. We're trading away from this monthly CB. Now, opening our weekly time frame, we're trading away from that, obviously, and you can see this distribution. So if this thing is going to continue lower, the low of this will be the next dry liquidity. I'm just going to mark it out, and then go to my daily time frame and try and read the price action. So this run on buy side, running above the short-term high, which was the last week of January, right? A run above that high, which has buy side liquidity, obviously. Above highs, buy side resides above highs, and below lows, sell side reside below equal lows, or below lows, below swing lows. Sell side is below this low, buy side is above this high, sell side is below this low. So we have sell side below here. We've gotten market structure, a displacement immediately after getting into that weekly area, right? So we've gotten that displacement. This displacement in itself is really good because we know that this red candle, which was former area of what buying, right? So it was another block before. Now, on seeing it violate this area, this is going to act as a breaker, right? But I would like to use the bodies of the candles basically. But basically, this whole area, you can mark that out. It's going to act as a breaker basically. So it's marking it out. And look at what we have here. We have what? An imbalance here too. So we have like a daily fair value gap, which is a daily CB, right? See how we're piecing the puzzles together. So since we've had a run, that offsets people who were originally what? Profitable, going short, takes them out and does the real move. Any returning to this premium array, I'm going to be targeting what? Lower prices, which also rhymes with the fact that DXY is what? Bullish. Okay, so this is one of those weeks when price action, once you get going into this new week, as long as you can find a very decent setup, you should be good. Okay, you should be good. You should not be trying to push too much because this is NFP week. You should not be trying to over leverage. You should trust that finding the best setups, finding the high probability setups in line with your weekly direction is going to be the best decision you make. Okay, so in order to not keep this video too long, we are cutting it here, and I'm wishing you a very good trading week ahead, and I'm encouraging you that whatever it is that you tell yourself you're going to do it in that moment. Do it in that moment. If it is journaling, do it in that moment, and just get it done. As long as your mind is trying to procrastinate it in that moment, that's the secret, that's the time to get it done. So yeah, I'm preaching peace and I'm preaching love throughout this week, and I'm preaching higher prices on DXY, volume imbalance on DXY, buy side on DXY. And as long as these premium arrays can be done, I'm done for the week. I'm trying to push it. I'm not trying to over leverage, and I'm just trying to submit to this. Any return to the breakout, to the imbalance here, trusting for what? Higher prices. All right. So yeah, that brings us to the end of this call. So good luck, good trading. See you in the next video. Bye.